WTF. Honestly, WTF. Why do I have this palette? You guys, this morning I was just sitting on my computer and I randomly just decided to type in like Roxa eyeshadow palette, and it took me to the page for early access. So then I shared it with you guys. I ordered it myself, and then like 20 minutes before I was leaving for my workout, I get a package at the door from NATASHA Denona, and I was like, no way, no way. I opened it up. They sent me this in PR, but I bought it this morning anyways. Today I'm going to be trying out the NATASHA Denona Roxa palette. Now this is not my official review. I'm going to film my official review tomorrow. This is just a first look at the palette of true first impressions because you guys, unfortunately, I have Spanish class very soon and I only have enough time to get ready for Spanish class. So obviously, I'm going to try this out for the first time to wear to Spanish class since I needed to get ready, and I thought I would film it so that you could at least see what we were working with here. See, you know, IRL-ish kind of swatches, because we know Natasha goes like this with her swatches. So I do have some realistic swatches, and then we're just going to do a quick tutorial. But save your questions for the comments because tomorrow I'm filming the comparisons, the more in-depth swatches, more details about the formulas, the palettes, more looks. I'm filming that tomorrow. So don't you worry. But I thought you guys who were just as excited as me would love to see me at least use it for the first time. But yeah, like I said, I will put the early access link down below. It's only for the NATASHA Denona website. You need to have an account, which is totally worth it because you can rack up points. They have a very good point system. So if you just log into your account, it will take you there for early access. And I ordered this morning and I actually already got the shipping notification. So they are with it. And I actually prefer ordering from ND over Sephora if I know I love the palette and I'm not going to want to return it because they package it really safely, very well. Okay, Morgan, shut up. But anyways, I'll have the early access link down for you. Now, they disabled codes for it, and they disabled using points for this palette, which kind of sucks. But if you're not ordering this palette, you're adding other stuff in, then you can use my code morganturner for 15% off those items. But unfortunately, excluded with this palette. Jose just delivered a shaken espresso for me. Very good, very, very good. I'm trying to think, is that all the housekeeping I have? Ah, yes. Tomorrow, it's going to be available in the Sephora app as well. So I'll share that with you as well for those of you who want to purchase from Sephora instead. But secret early access link is for today. Now, this palette is limited edition. She's pricey. She's $69. It's a midi palette, which is NATASHA Denona's best size. This is for her holiday collection, and I'm assuming it will most definitely be a truly limited edition palette based on how things worked out. And from the last time I talked about this, the swatches are now out, the looks are now out. I haven't really gotten a chance to look at it yet. I've been so busy with not planning on getting this palette today. But I did have enough time to swatch it for you guys. I love showing it on my iPhone camera because it's very true to color. So let's go ahead and move over to that footage. We are doing this together. I have not even opened or looked at this, but this is the box it's going to come in. It's plain. It's just purple. Let's see. Made in Italy. 24-month shelf life. Love to see it. And then we have all of the shade names here. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty today, like I said, but I do want to take a look at it. So it's the midi style palette, meaning you're able to poke through here with like a needle or whatnot, bobby pin, and then you will be able to poke the shadows out. Oh no, I'm seeing a little bit of residue. I'm scared. Hopefully nothing broke. But take a look at this texture right here. It's not as like multi-chrome shifty as I thought that it looked online. Like a lot of the blue you're seeing is from the sky. I'm right by a window. Hold on. Yeah, it's really just plain purple when not facing the sky. Very simple. Okay. Good, nothing broken. So you do have a mirror. It is the normal style midi palette. And I'm showing you this on my phone because I feel like sometimes my DSLR can pull the colors more warm than they are. So just know, on my phone camera right now, this is the truest to color it actually is. From what I'm seeing on my phone screen to in person, it's very, very close. We have some new formulas here, including all of the mattes are a newly reformulated silky matte formulation. And look at this shade. How neat is that? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch because I'm running low on time, but let's look at them. So I'm gonna start off going this way. This feels a little dry. Ooh, that's an interesting formula. Dixie, looks like a topper shade. We have this purple shade. Okay, purple swatch terrible, but that wasn't terrible. Very sheer. I'm hoping the rest of the shimmers have more pigment to them. Then we have a really nice light shade. Going into Regal Eclipse, the deepest shade, Stargirl. We're gonna get a good mix of Bolt, which is instantly gonna kind of mess up that embossment there. But that's how these are looking on the fingers. I'm not loving the way these shimmers are swatching, you guys. It's not like the normal, really rich, creamy NATASHA Denona metallics, you know? They're like all toppery. Oh no! Heather, so this, it's pretty rosy, you guys, and so is Cerise. But honestly, it's not like super purple, but it really is only this quad right here that's more on the pinky side. And then of course that one definitely is too. Well, it's pretty pinky. Let me know what you think. The mattes do feel quite silky, and they have good pigment. This is by far the best swatching shade thus far in the shimmers, Concord. And then getting into the final three. That one swatched good too. And here we are. You can see the right side of my arm is the more purple side. And it really is true. The left side of my arm, it looks quite pinky with some purple tones in here, which I don't mind because I think pinks are complementary to purples. But I think what fans were looking for were more of like a purple bluish kind of palette as opposed to purple pink, because we do kind of already have a couple of those from Natasha Denona. But let's see how these perform on the eyes. I'm a little scared about some of these shimmers. They just don't feel like that rich, creamy Natasha Denona formula, but let's get them on the eyes. Okay, for primer, I'm going to use some of the ABH primer to give us a cleaner, brighter eyelid. Since this is a bolder palette, I don't know what look I'm gonna go for today. I want it to be something a little out of my comfort zone, but still comfortable enough to wear to mi clase de español. Yeah, if you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, I started taking Spanish classes. So that's my evening activity. Very fun. I just squeezed way too much of that out, but that's okay. Wasted product. Love that. Feels so weird that I'm doing this so casually. I feel so ill-prepared. But I just gotta put it on as I normally would. Okay, so I just need to see what this shade Phoebe looks like. Now, remember, she has that new silky matte formula. So hopefully all of the mattes in here are good. So this is going to pretty much do nothing on me. It has a little bit of a grayish purple hue, but depth-wise, it's very close to my skin tone, like barely deeper, so that did nothing. But I can see the hue that left behind. These are leaving a little bit of kickback, but nothing terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Sweet Pea, and I'm going to circle this in the inner half of the crease. I'm using a BK Beauty N13, and this is pulling quite pink, a little bit of a purple hue to it, but very slight. I would say it pulls more pink. The biggest concern that I saw in my shopper drop from you guys was that this palette was way too pink for it to be such a purple palette, or marketed as such a purple palette. I like pinks with purples, so I'm definitely not as offended, but I see where you guys are coming from. Maybe for the holidays, more of that purple blue would have been better. Okay, I want to see if velour looks different. I'm just winging this look here, so bear with me. Now, as far as I can tell, this is a very lovely matte formula. They are applying quite silky. They're blending out really easily. I was worried because she completely replaced all of her mattes in this palette with a new matte formulation, and I was like, this formula is not good. It's going to be an issue because she has none of her creamy mattes here. Luckily, no cream to powders. I think there were times where it was appropriate to have the cream to powders, but I'm still just like a creamy matte person, and these feel very close, if not identical, to the creamy matte formulation from what I'm able to tell. Not enough difference between Sweet Pea and Velour, in my opinion. They're quite close on my eyelid, and remember, I do have that bright base, so they really should be showing their differences a little bit more. I can see the slight difference, but it's not, in my opinion, enough. Remember, I'm very nitpicky in these reviews. Okay, now we're going to go in with this shade. We have to. Ooh, a lot of kickback from that. Now, she said she specifically reformulated these mattes for this palette because purples are a very difficult color to work with and to create a non-patchy shadow, which I 100% agree with. So I'm going with this almost purpley blue shade. It's like a grape color because normally these are the worst culprits of being patchy. And this is looking very smooth to me, and you can still get a decent amount of pigment. Just circling this in the crease and making sure we can blend this. Ooh, very, very good quality. Yay! I'm a little concerned and scared to get into the shimmers because a lot of them seemed so sheer and just not in traditional Natasha Denona fashion. So we'll see. You saw the swatches. Love this color though. She really did do a good job with this because these are a hard formula to nail down. Okay, and then we have like this eggplant shade, tapping off the excess. Circling this in the outer corner. Okay, I love this matte formulation. It is so nice, and look how purple the look I'm going for is today. I'm feeling a little inspired by one of her tutorials that I saw. I didn't watch it fully in depth, but I had it on in the background. And she did, of course, go into black shades, and she used black eyeliner to really bring the depth out in that look. I'm not going to do all that now, but I'm kind of inspired by this series of colors that she used for that. This blend is phenomenal. Taking Sweet Pea, which is the shade, just using that to soften all the edges of today's look. What we are really here for are the shimmers. Like Dixie felt a little bit dry to me. I need to go in with Bolt. This is the new formulation where it's 2-in-1. So you can see what it looks like. Popping this in the center of the eyelid. It's not a super, I'm sorry, I'm so far out. It's not a super creamy formulation. It's very pretty, but it's a lot easier to be picked up with a finger. I just wish it had more of a wet, creamy feeling. I feel like I have to go in and build this up. But it's gorgeous. Look at that. That is such a pretty shade. Very dimensional. Then I'm using Concord. Now this swatched the best of all the shimmers. A little bit of fallout with using it from a brush, but you can. I just wanted to test that out. Look at this shade. Isn't that so pretty? Ooh, I like this one. I know there's a lot of questions as to how this looks compared to like the Love palette. I haven't pulled that one open yet. I'm really excited to dive into that tomorrow. Final shimmer, Starlight. This one looked like it had such a cool shift on the online photos. I'm not really seeing it in person. Ooh, this picked up really nice on a brush. Do be careful because it looks like you can get a little bit of fallout from this because it's a bit, not flaky, but there definitely are some chunks flying out, but it's adhering beautifully to the lid. Ooh, that shade is gorgeous. I love this gradient. And then I want to try Flutter. I don't even know where I'm gonna put it. This one has like more of a really fine sparkle to it, kind of similar to the Makeup by Mario sparkle formulation that just launched in the new palette, which that review is being pushed back for this, but I do have that one filmed. So the sparkles in that one are similar to that. Final thing, I'm taking Eclipse, just that darkest eggplant color, and that's gonna be our liner for class today. Of course, doing my wing. This is doing really nice as an eyeliner. It's building up the depth really nicely. That makes me very happy. Okay, let me put on some concealer really fast. Okay, so for lower lash, let's see. Is this pronounced jacaranda? Wow, super pigmented. And I did get some fallout from the liner, which is to be expected, but especially if you're going to do liner, do not put at least your concealer down until after. I normally, because I need at least a clean canvas, I do my foundation, but I leave my concealer off so that I can wipe any fallout. And I'm leaving the inner corner bright because I want to take more of Stargirl, which was a surprising favorite. It's like a bit chunky and loose, but it's really easy to just press on, and I can see a little bit of the pink shift in here. Definitely applies a lot prettier than it swatches. I want that to be nice and bright down here. I'm gonna use this same brush. Boom, boom, boom. Take a little bit of Bolt. Really spread it out. This is a difficult one to use with a brush, but we're gonna make it work. And then taking a smaller pencil brush into Eclipse, just to follow that liner down here. It'll add some nice cohesion. Okay, just wait till these lashes are on. I'm about to look so insane in a good way. Let me finish the look. Okay, so I think that we can all agree here that this look is insanely gorgeous. I said I wanted a purple palette from Natasha Denona, and I got it. I got the purple Natasha Denona look that I was going for. Obviously, I still have a lot more research to do in terms of this palette and a lot more information to present to you guys. But thus far, from what I've used, what I can tell, the mattes in here, gorgeous, very silky. In particular, these two shades are some of the hardest to formulate, to not have super patchy, to not be difficult to blend. And these gave such an easy blend. You could build them up. So it is not a fail as far as the mattes go. The shimmers, generally speaking, I mean, there's some differences amongst them. They feel a little bit dry, which worries me. You saw the swatches. Some of them were a little bit more on the sheer side. But the 4 shades I used today, very beautiful on the eyes. This felt a little bit dry. I needed a finger to apply it, but it does not look bad on the lid. It looks really gorgeous on the lid. But I do remember a time when Natasha Denona's shimmers just felt a lot more creamy, and I just feel like they're not. And it's not that they're bad. They're usable, they're beautiful, but it just is different. So that is something to note. But of course, I'm going to continue to test out this palette. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel because my official review of this will be out in the next couple of days. If you have any questions you want me to answer, please ask them down below in the comments. I'll get the comparisons out there for you. I'll get a couple more looks out there so I can really test every shade in this palette. So it's coming, I promise. Again, I'll have the link for the early access code down below. And thank you guys for hanging out with me and just getting ready with me. I'm sorry I couldn't bring the full review right away, but whether or not I filmed this, I was going to wear this today. So I thought I would pop on the camera for you guys to show you what we're working with. So if you're excited about this, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.